Recently, I lost both of my parents to COVID. They died within 5 days of each other, and I'm so grateful that God took them together. We were able to have a celebration of their life service together, and it was an amazing, beautiful service. I miss my parents so, so much, but I am so grateful for God's grace and supernatural strength to walk through this grieving process. Today, I want to talk about some things that people say, well meaning, to try to bring comfort, things they say that they probably should not say, and things that can be said to hopefully encourage us as pastors' wives and female ministers to be able to better minister to those when they lose loved ones. Recently, someone said to me, "Well, you're an orphan like me now." I have to laugh because I know they meant well. And honestly, I don't see myself as an orphan. I see myself as I still have the same parents. They just changed addresses. They now live in heaven, where I will go there and see them again. So you just have to laugh when people say things like that. A friend of mine said when her daddy passed away, someone said to her, "Well, if God healed everybody, this earth wouldn't be big enough to hold all the people." Well, I'm sure they meant that as some kind of word of comfort, but that is not a comforting thing you want to hear. Other things that I personally have not wanted to hear is, "Oh, I'm so, so sorry. I just can't even imagine how horrible this has to be for you." I appreciate the sentiment, but the truth is, my parents are with Jesus. Am I sad? Of course I am, but I honestly, things I would rather hear are things like, "Hey, my friend, I'm here for you. I'm praying for you. Could I bring you a meal? Could I run errands for you?" And the beauty is, I have had people say those things. I actually had one of the pastor's wives in our Silently Bleeding Finding Hope for the Pastor's Wife Facebook group reach out and ask, "Hey friend, could I send you a gift card for Uber Eats?" Wow, how creative and thoughtful was that? So what are things that you shouldn't say? "Oh, well, when my aunt passed away, or when my parents passed away, oh, it was so horrible." You don't want to say things like that. Basically, you just want to be there. The power of presence is so incredible. One of my dear friends reached out to me when she heard about my parents being so ill. She just reached out with a text and said, "Hey girl, I am praying for you, and if there is anything, I mean anything at all I can do for you, please reach out to me." And I know that sweet friend, and I knew she meant it. And actually, I did reach out to her. She has such an incredible gift of writing, and I asked her, would she write my parents' love story? She did, and she had to put a lot of time into that. She watched the videos that I have on my YouTube channel about when I interviewed my parents about Christmases past, when I interviewed them about their lives. That was just the most amazing gift she could have ever given me. The power of presence, I mentioned that before, but just sometimes being there and saying, "Hey, I'm here for you. I love you." That is so powerful. And people have sent me prayers that were just so encouraging, and just actually practically just asking people, "What can I do for you? Can I cook you a meal? Can I run errands?" As I've already mentioned. Those things are so incredibly helpful. People just want to know you love them. Don't try to come up with some story that you can relate to their pain, because really, unless you've walked that actual path, you don't know. And even when you have, sometimes people don't want to hear your story. I can't say what it's like for others, but for me, ask me about my parents. I love to tell my mom and dad's stories. You know, there's things about my parents that I have just treasured in my heart. I've always been my daddy's little girl. In fact, he always called me his little lamb. And I was so close to my dad. And I had a closeness to my mom, but it wasn't the same. But you know, the last 3 years of my mom's life, she became my biggest cheerleader for the Ginger Optimist and for Silently Bleeding. She watched every video, and I remember I asked her when I was there at Christmas time, Mom, do you want to watch Silently Bleeding? And she said, yes, I do. And it was so precious to watch her. Even though she had dementia, she loved watching the videos for the pastors' wives. And one particular one, the one with Jelly Valamont, she knows Jelly. And she sat there talking back to Jelly, saying, Jelly, that's right. Yes, yes. And it just blessed my heart to hear my mom being encouraged. The last 3 years, she just began to just speak into my life and tell me how proud she was. And that meant more to me than she will ever know. I'm so grateful for my precious parents, and I'm so grateful for you. I hope this video has in some way encouraged you how to better minister to those that are hurting. And if you are hurting, my friend, look for joy in your circumstance. I still have moments where tears come to my eyes over my parents, and I know that's going to continue to happen. But I look at the joy, I look at their pictures, and I think about how blessed I was to be born into Charles and Linda Leverett's family. I think about the many times that we spent together laughing over meal times and playing games, and those are the moments that I treasure and I find joy. We all have to walk through grief. It's all going to come to us at different times, but we can find joy even in our moments of sadness. If you are walking through a deep time of grief right now and you would like prayer, I'll leave my email address right here. Feel free to reach out to me, my friend, and I will email you back as quickly as possible, and I will be praying for you. God bless you, my friend. Thank you for watching Silently Bleeding, Finding Hope for the Pastor's Wife. I look forward to connecting with you. Feel free to leave me comments down below and make sure and subscribe. If you want to know every time a new video is coming out, hit the bell. I would be so delighted if you would also hit the like button, and feel free to share this video with anyone you know that this would encourage. Blessings, my friend.